The Harteis Ranch takes preparation up a notch for Josh and his father Barry on this special father and son episode of The Hollywood Hunter. The emotional roller coaster starts right now.
So each summer we have our work cut out for us as we're getting prepared for the fall. Putting in the right management plots of buck forage oats, which do very well here for us. Set up all the right stand sets with the tree stand buddies. Locking them in, making sure they're solidified. There we go. Making sure all the cameras are placed at all the right locations. The eco cabin blinds, which we just put in, that are windproof, that are like little cabins elevated. Absolutely great experience to hunt out of. This thing is deluxe. You have room to do a workout if you'd like. Tinted windows. We got the approach camo on it. 100% scent-proof. This week, I'm really excited. I have a dear friend, Josh Gray, who's from the Harrisburg, Pennsylvania area, a very successful entrepreneur, self-made, and said to me, you know, Freddie, I would love to come out there and hunt a big bull elk and bring my parents along. He says, my father had his leg amputated when he was a child and gets around with crutches, and he said, can you accommodate an elk hunt for that? And I said, bud, absolutely. It'll just take a little bit more of us thinking about it and putting the right stand sets on the ground, the right ground blinds together. We got an incredible week coming up. Got a couple of dear friends from Pennsylvania, great hunters coming. We're just getting prepared, setting up some last minute ground blinds in some prime time situations, just so we have every option covered, no matter what the wind is. These guys gotta knock down some big elk. We proceeded, Steve and I, to go out and customize a hunt for Barry, put Barry on the ground in some different ground blind sets. Just cross our fingers that it would all come together. It's gonna be a great week. I know those two guys are gonna really appreciate this type of experience. It's gonna be a ton of fun and something they've never tried before. One thing I'm very proud of the ranch about is to be able to help about any type of client have success. Leave all your hunting stuff out here in the lockers, and then these scent crusher units are amazing to be able to throw ozone in your clothes and kill all the scent. You're going to be hunting an area I call the 360 pond, because almost every bull we've killed there is 360 inches. So I've been looking forward to this hunt for quite some time. Josh Gray, a dear friend from Pennsylvania, incredible success story, and I said, you know what, you may be successful on paper, but you need to be successful in the field with me. This was the first hunt he's going to be doing with a bow and arrow and going after a bull elk and doing it with his father, which is absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it should be a good time. I'm sure I'm going to get real nervous, but
You're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. Follow through, follow through.
oh, low.
You dropped your arm a little bit.
Did I?
Yeah. I am not holding on to the bow too tight. I'm following that up. Okay? When you're in the heat of the moment and you have an elk coming in and you're like, oh my God, be careful of getting that finger too close to the trigger until you're ready to shoot. So Barry got a special permit to hunt elk with a crossbow. Here in Colorado, you have to apply for that tag, and he did so and received it. As he showed up, I had pulled out the crossbow that my father had that is legal for Colorado, because you cannot have a scope in the state of Colorado on your crossbow. Or if you do, I believe it's a 1 magnifying scope. But our setup, my father killed a great bull, a 360-inch bull a few years back, and it's been sitting there in the barn ready for someone to take out. So I hand over my father's crossbow to Barry.
The red dot. Center it with the dot, with the back peep, right on that orange dot, and whack them.
And he starts shooting it.
Low.
Okay.
With very little confidence. He wasn't hitting the target very well. He was nervous.
No, low again.
I could tell shot after shot. I would look at Josh, he'd look at me, and we both were very nervous because the shots weren't going where we were wanting them to on the target.
Mid body, slowly squeeze.
Yeah, I came up a little more on that.
Barry's wife was there, Kathy, and she was getting nervous as well, and she could see it just wasn't coming together, and Barry was losing confidence. And really, for Barry, his confidence is everything. If he loses that, then we knew we wouldn't be able to pull it off. So we just took it one shot at a time, and we're hoping that we could get it right. So I realized the biggest thing that Barry needed was some rest. So in the morning, we're gonna shoot that crossbow.
Nice.
Within a couple hours, we had him drilling that decoy, and he was gaining confidence.
Armscore ammo. Right on target, right on the price. Scent crusher. Scent off. Game on. Raptor Razor takes field dressing to a whole new level. Visit RaptorRazor.com. Excalibur Crossbows, the most accurate hunting crossbow. ExcaliburCrossbow.com. Keystone Sporting Arms, home of the Cricket, Chipmunk, and the new 722.
Tree Stand Buddy, the quick attach slide mount system for hang-on tree stands.
Ripcord's new Ace Standard with the Firefall design. See the Ace difference. Hollywood Hunter is also brought to you by these fine sponsors. After much-needed R&R, Barry finally gets his sights right and ready to lay down some incredible elk. But while the Harteis Ranch makes it look easy, Josh is about to find out it's no walk in the park.
We're gonna head up to the top of Apache. We know that area really, really well, and so we're gonna go up there and just sneak in there and glass. Okay.
So the first morning of the hunt, Steve and Josh went up into the canyon.
I'm gonna sneak up through here and try to see where they're at, see if we can get in front of them. Are you excited? I mean, we can go back to the lodge. No, it's all right. Okay, let's go see what we got.
They run into elk immediately.
No. He'll come back.
Steve knows this ranch very well, so as soon as he saw one of the cows go in a certain direction, he knew where he could intercept them. And that big bull, they spotted an 8x7 in that group, and they knew he was going to cross that path as well. Well, that big bull did come in. They got great footage of him. That is a monster bull. That bull comes in and gives him a song and a dance, and they just couldn't put it together. They were all freaked out. It's a monster elk, and it gets away, but I'll tell you, we were all freaking out looking at the footage and excited to know that bull was on our place.
She might have winded us. They didn't wind us at all. I think he just wanted to come get her. He was just chasing her. Yeah.
These guys know what they're doing. Steve's leading the pack, and they get down in the bottom of that canyon, and there's bulls everywhere. I think there were 7 or 8 bulls in the bunch. They were just in awe because they were surrounded. They couldn't get the monster in front of them, but they were definitely getting a show. These guys were into them like crazy, and it was just trying to figure out how to get the right one in front of them.
Unbelievable. I was not expecting to see 8 bulls on my first day. I'd never stalked an animal, and the guides coached me and got me downwind away from the bulls.
Steve always knows the right time to cow call and work the elk. So he's popping out the decoy, showing the rear end of it, cow calling, and the elk stop and look, but he couldn't get him to turn around or come back to him. But it was a great encounter.
Had about 4 bulls, about 85 yards. Didn't get a shot, just waiting my time. Hopefully I can get one within 50 yards to get a shot at, but for my first time at the Harteis Ranch, it's better than what I expected. I couldn't believe we ran that kind of herd today, so it was unbelievable.
That was a lot of bulls. We got busted by wind.
We didn't. That was incredible. I never experienced anything like that. That was nuts. I've never stalked an animal like that before. I've never experienced that kind of hunt. It was a lot of fun, but the muscles got sore a lot. Staying still was really tough. My muscles were screaming a few times, but it was a lot of fun.
As Josh gets back to the lodge, he is just grinning ear to ear, excited.
If you were standing up in the woods hiding, it wouldn't be as good a shot if you were on your knees as far as camouflage goes. So I haven't practiced on my knees, but now I'm gonna practice on my knees a lot. You're hidden better on your knees in a lot of the areas that I was in the terrain. I'm gonna practice on my knees. I would feel more secure that I won't get spotted by the cows or by the bull. And it is my first time hunting with a compound bow ever. And of course I'm doing it at elk, so it's exciting, but I don't want to mess up. So I'm going to start on my knees this afternoon and get better at it.
With Josh grinning from ear to ear after his first morning encounter, it's now up to his father Barry to seal the deal and draw first blood. Let's see if all that target practice actually paid off.
The number one goal of this hunt is to get my dad a shot. My dad's handicapped and needs help getting in and out of stands, and these guys set up blinds. They really catered to us. They set up blinds throughout the property for him. We're just hoping and praying that my dad gets a kill or at least a shot before the end of the weekend. He's the main goal here.
I knew that the number one for him was to see his father kill an elk, and that was very important to him. I wanted them both to have great experiences, but it was just a matter of time. Barry was gonna get her done. So Steve and Josh head down into the canyon. And they get into a ground blind.
Ready to go. Claustrophobic, but ready to go.
And on the other end of the property, Barry ends up going with Perry. As we put those guys together, we named them Perry and Barry the Pear Bears. Now Perry's a first-year guide, and Barry's a first-time elk hunter, and not very mobile. That guy's a fighter. He's willing to do whatever it takes. He got in that blind, was ready to go.
It's a little crowded in here, but we'll do whatever it takes to kill an elk.
They had some great encounters at a distance. The bulls come out and elk running around, but they just did not close the distance from that blind to get a shot. It just didn't come together. That evening, Perry and Barry, they didn't see an elk, but they heard him bugling down the canyon, so they snuck out of there in hopes to get him the next day.
All right, you ready? Yeah. Okay, let's take a walk. We'll get right on top of them like we did yesterday.
All right, sounds good.
Make it happen.
We crawled on our knees all the way up to a bull while he was calling it in. Got to 66 yards away, and we didn't have a broadside shot at all. We tried to get a little closer, and he kind of busted us.
That's not the bull we wanted, anyhow.
I was having trouble breathing. I had to take the face mask down.
Once you took that face mask down, he ran off. So now we know.
The Pear Bears, they're at the saddle area where we got a ground blind, and the way those elk funnel in and out of there, it's just a great opportunity to get one.
I saw my first shooter bull in the woods for the first time. I forgot to push in the second safety. It was a 40-yard shot, and when I pulled the trigger, nothing. I thought the arrow was maybe jammed. I forgot all about the second safety. You have to push in with your finger. A little bit of nerves too. I should have known better because I shot it in practice and should have remembered that there was a second safety on it. But it was a beautiful bull, and he's still running.
Barry's gaining more confidence and knows that he can make the shot, and Perry's encouraging him, and the wind's blowing all over the place.
Well, Fred's father shot a nice bull elk here at the 360 location.
The wind's blowing all over the place. At the last hour, here comes a beautiful 8x8. And this bull came in like clockwork.
We heard that bull come in, and I was like, we just got to stay calm, relax, like we've done it before.
And as he walked down the hill, he gave those guys a show the whole way down.
This bull just came down off this ridge, and I said, let him drink water. He'll get in there, he'll drink, let's just stay.
Perry kept a soft voice and telling me what to do. If Perry wouldn't have been there, I might have shot earlier, or when he had his head down and could have maybe had a bad shot with the shoulder blade. Perry told me when to shoot, he thought it'd be the kill shot.
All of a sudden, that bull comes into the water. It's at 35 yards.
My nerves, but I kept by that peep sight. I tried to stay calm and get a good shot there.
Barry makes a perfect shot, center punches that elk as it runs up on the hill and gets in the timber.
I thank the Lord for a second chance today. I messed up on didn't take the second safety off. Not too many people get a second chance the same day, so I'm really excited.
I think he hit a really good shot. It was right in the motor room, right where we needed it to be.
Armscore Ammo. Right on target, right on the price. Scent Crusher. Scent off. Game on. Raptor Razor takes field dressing to a whole new level. Visit RaptorRazor.com. Excalibur Crossbows, the most accurate hunting crossbow. ExcaliburCrossbow.com. Keystone Sporting Arms, home of the Cricket, Chipmunk, and the new 722.
Tree Stand Buddy, the quick attach slide mount system for hang-on tree stands.
Ripcord's new Ace Standard with the Firefall design. See the Ace difference. Hollywood Hunter is also brought to you by these fine sponsors. Looks like Barry learned a very important lesson about preparation, but in the end his instincts kicked in and he made an incredible shot. So Josh will once again have to follow in his father's footsteps. Let's see how he does.
Got it, Barry! Josh is more excited than if he would have killed it himself. The number one for him was to see his father kill an elk, and that was very important to him.
Barry guided me all the way through it. I would have been anxious and probably would have shot too early and hit the shoulder bone or something because of the way he was crunched.
As soon as Barry seen that bull, he put a beat on him right away.
So we sent a handful of the guys out. Barry sat back here at the lodge waiting to see if that elk did actually expire. Before you know it, just about 4 or 5 hours later, 2 in the morning or so.
These guys followed the broken branches, the tracks, tracked this thing on no blood up here 300, 350 yards. I would have been lost, honestly. I'm just so happy for my dad and happy that the Harteis Ranch has such good guides and professionals to help this happen for my dad. Just unbelievable. So I appreciate it, guys.
Those boys come out and Barry's still waiting on the porch for them to come back. He's so worked up and excited.
Sounds like a lot of hard work, guys.
Oh, it was nothing.
The struggle was that bull got in the trees and they had to pack it out. But we have a lot of tough guys here at the ranch. These guides are first class and they'll do whatever it takes. And I'll tell you, to see Barry's face when they got back was priceless. The next morning, Steve and Josh go out on Ryan's property in pursuit of a really good bull.
Let's go kill one. Sounds like there's quite a few of them. We got a bunch of bulls in front of us that we're gonna try to call into us. We don't have a lot of cover. We got this little brush pile, but it's enough.
elk are coming in. It gets in perfect position broadside. Steve taps him to shoot. He draws back, shoots, and over his back. Gee, it happens to the best of us, and on the ground, it's a tough hunt.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
Well, it didn't work out.
I was shaking so bad.
When he got back, I'll tell you, Josh was wound up.
I missed.
Did you? Did you get shot? Even though it didn't come together, he was very excited to have the opportunity, number one, and number two, to have a thrill of a lifetime. But that's hunting. I mean, it doesn't matter what our experiences are. There's going to be great ones, and there's going to be others that just don't come together.
Closed captioning has been brought to you by Arms Corps Ammo.
Well, from the beginning, Josh really emphasized how important it was for his dad to get an elk. We would have never thought that Barry would be the one that did pull it off. Josh being the fitness king just didn't come together. I'll tell you, every time I go out elk hunting, I learn something else that gets me to become a better hunter. And it humbles me many times, but that's when the victories are that much more sweet. Josh, so here on the ranch, as you can see, there's lots of animals around. You're gonna have great opportunities like you did. Doesn't always work out, but we're really excited to have you back, bud.